Why did you accept our invite?
At this point, most people know how I discovered dance and everything. Apart from all of those informations, the audience can do well with impactful conversations.
Wow.
A dancer that has created a performance for a tour for an artist should be acknowledged, not just credit on social media. If I invite you and say, let's collaborate and make this dance video, and you are looking at the fact that they compare the two of us, so me being in the same video with you is going to make it look like you are outshining me or I'm outshining you. They just, someone is smarter than me. I want to know how you've navigated from one point to one point, knowing that I'm not there yet.
Ladies who are in a similar position still want to keep their virginity and still be successful. How do they navigate that? Yeah. Maybe say, are they crazy? Now God, are they crazy?
Do you think going to church is a compulsory way to show that you have not forgotten the person that made you who you are?
I like to answer questions with scenarios, okay?
I don't have to do the things that people are doing just because it's going to get you numbers. When you do the things that you love, someone else watching you would love it as well. What workout sessions do you enjoy?
And I want to get a little chest, so that when I wear something, when I show up the girls,
That
bringing.
It does. When he passed, that was when I realized you can expect anything from human beings. I'm living my life just to repair that lost relationship I never had with my dad. Hello. You make my mind.
Today we're in the kitchen and we're making good food.
Yes.
I promise you.
Yes.
The food you're going to taste today is going to be one you've never tasted.
Ever.
And one of the things I like about this is that sometimes the guests I bring on the show have been to other places, but I don't know what happens. There seems to be something different about what we do here that I'm only privileged and blessed to have my guests really open up to me on this podcast. And today I'm telling you about a superstar. Well, I don't know if you know her. I don't know if you've seen her on TV or on social media, but I can promise you that if you watch 10 videos on Instagram, you'll probably chance on her video. I'm telling you about the mega superstar. Jig body. Why are you already laughing? What's up?
Trillion mega superstar. That's who you are.
Me?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I don't have 11 million followers.
That's what this humble, your humility will tell you. But it's fine. I understand. I know how you feel right now.
No,
I know how you're feeling.
Jigbadi, I want to start off by saying thank you.
Thank you.
For making the time to be here. I gladly appreciate it. I mean, we're starting something new and we're now building a community. And to have people like you decide to be here, it means a lot to me. So I want to kick off by asking, why did you accept our invite? I mean, there are other bigger platforms. There are other places with numbers, places that, Charlie, but why did you want to be on,
Because I would like to I'm at a point in my life where I would like to have interviews, go on shows where the conversation would mean something to the audience watching, you know. At this point, most people know where I'm from, how I discovered dance and everything. But then I feel like apart from all of those informations, the audience can do well with impactful conversations from me and from the host as well.
Wow.
So your show is like, it really took my attention. Really.
I'm grateful. I feel special, Charlie. Put some respect on my name.
Put some respect on his name.
Great.
Yeah.
Of course. Charlie, I want to start off by getting to know what I need to understand.
Okay.
To fully appreciate the beautiful lady who sits in front of me.
Is this
today.
just going to be compliments? Like,
no, you see,
the way you're complimenting me,
I think a lot of people, in fact, it's one of the things I do, even when it's people's birthdays, I don't believe in HBD. People post people's birthday, HBD, happy birthday. No.
Yeah.
I believe that oftentimes when we lose people, that's when people come to write a lot of beautiful things. If Endurance were here, she would have done. You see all the beautiful things. But why don't you do it when the person is alive?
Now.
So for me, I take appreciating people, and honor is one of my value, and I choose to honor my guests every single time. So I don't think I'm here to gaslight or fanfoo you or anything. It's something I really believe in. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What do I need to know about your background and everything you've been through to fully appreciate the wonderful lady who sits before me today?
Oh, okay. About my background.
Yeah.
I had a very beautiful upbringing by my parents, my siblings, I grew up in Abuja, Nigeria. I was born in Nigeria.
Wow.
Yes.
I've been to Nigeria before.
Which part?
Lagos, Ikeja.
Why is everyone going to Lagos?
Yeah.
Every time. Every time. But yeah, I was born in Abuja. I grew up in Abuja. But then at around age 16, 17, I moved to Ghana because my dad wanted us to have an education in Ghana. Because growing up, people used to be like, hey, if you go to Ghana, the education is like elite, like it's nice. You have to be to Ghana to like go and experience the education there. So my dad always wanted that for us because he's Ghanaian. So I spent half of my life in Nigeria and half of my life in Ghana, just trying to discover myself. At that point, I didn't want to go to school because I love to play football a lot. At some point, I thought like, if I don't make it in football, I don't think I'll make it anywhere else.
Wow.
You know? So my childhood was beautiful, was funny because I had a really funny and dramatic family around me. So yeah, that's a little bit about how I grew up.
Great. And I like the fact that, I mean, there was a point in time in your life where you thought you were called to football.
Yes.
And I think it happens to almost every young person where we're growing up. We all feel that there's one particular thing that we must do. If we don't do, like,
there's nothing else you can ever do in this life.
You know?
Yes.
And so I think it's just more of another example of life is not linear. I went to Legon, read political science. Thought I would have ended up being a politician. But look at me. Do you know the funny thing? I don't even argue about politics. I don't, you know. And so it's beautiful how life sort of turns around. But, you know, I've also been in Nigeria a bit, and so I can speak a little bit. Ogbeni Kilo Shele.
That one is Yoruba.
Yeah.
Me, I'm Igbo. But Kilo Shele is like, what's happening
what's
now?
Up? Yeah.
Yes. That's good. That's a good one.
Great. Leaving Nigeria to Ghana. What does it take for you to be? I know I've read part of your story being the fact that you wanted to leave Nigeria to pursue your football dreams.
Yes.
Because that's all you wanted. You believed in it.
Yes.
Not every young person would have that effrontery. I don't know if I could use the word, the balls. You know?
I like that one. Yes.
To leave your parents. Besides, your parents are the one taking care of you. You know how when you're kids and sometimes you can have an argument with your mom, that you say, I'll leave this house.
Pack that one item that you love the most in the house and then you leave.
Yeah.
When mosquito bites you finish, you come back.
I love this, you know. So not every young person has the effrontery to be so crazy about their dream enough to live against their parents' will.
Yes.
I really want to explore that bit of chasing your dream as opposed to your parents' will for you, which is to stay and grow here. Okay.
So, like I said, my dad wanted us to have an experience of the Ghanaian education. But then when he passed, my sister and I were compelled to come back to Nigeria because we were not hearing anything from home. My dad was quiet, and that was because he didn't even know how to tell us there is no money. But I feel like he was still trying to find a way to make sure that we finish in Ghana. But then when I went back to Nigeria, life was tough with my family. Then my dad passed, and then the responsibility now was left for my sister and my mom. Playing football, you know, when you get to some point and you're playing football, you have to like get to the national team or you get to some Premier League team before you know that you're cashing out and stuff. I was not there yet. And it was really making me feel empty and useless. But then I was like, okay, maybe the greener pasture is not in Nigeria for me. And I've fallen in love with Ghana. So why not just come to Ghana, look for a football team and see if I can do something for myself and help my sister and my mom to support my little brothers. And then I told my mom I wanted to leave Nigeria. My mom had to go to church, talk to different pastors because she felt like this is an evil spirit because you are so young. What are you going to do in Ghana at this age? I had to tell her I need to go. Luckily, I convinced her, like 10%. Yeah. And then I left. I came to Ghana without, I didn't have a plan. I just knew I wanted to come and play football. So I started living with people, but in return, I get to help them wash clothes, wash plates, run errands. and just help them if they have stores, I help them sell just to at least let them just say thank you at least for making me stay in your house. But then the football was not picking. I don't know why. I was still feeling this emptiness. And then after that, I decided, just drop, hang boots. At this point, it's not working out for you. Just hang the boots and look for something to do to get money at the end of the month, So I started working as an accountant, like wayo accountant. So it's not like the serious one. At an antiseptic company. But then the director passed and then they had to shut down the company. Then I went to look for work at Goyle filling station. I went through an internship program?
Internship, yeah.
Yes. And then I passed. They promoted me to being a pump attendant.
Wow.
I was very happy. After that, I started earning money for myself, gathering money to get my own apartment. And I think I lost touch with my family for some time because I was really struggling with myself, trying to focus to do something for myself. So losing touch with my family was something really serious because at some point my mom wasn't hearing from me, just my sister, but once in a while, that was like the whole struggle with leaving Nigeria.
I can understand. And of course, a lot of my audience who watch perhaps cannot relate with your story.
No.
Most of us grew up with our parents together, so I want to explore a bit about coming to Ghana and squatting with people.
Mm-hmm.
There's a certain feeling when you go to a certain house and you can tell that this girl is not part of the core family.
Yes.
In fact, when you get to certain places, you can tell that it's very obvious that this girl is not being treated special like the other ones and all of that. I don't want us to get ahead of the story. We'll get to the success. Everybody likes the success bit. Everybody loves the fact they want to get 11 million followers. But what we don't know, and I also don't know, which I want you to tell me is, I want you to talk about living with other people. How was the experience? You know how we've watched a lot of Nigerian movies. I live with my stepmother. They are beating you. You are washing plates. Run me through that experience of living with other people's families.
And in my case, I didn't get any Uwamo Ijuwa effect in my story, but I was really blessed and lucky to have been able to stay with amazing people, very nice people. Shout outs to the first person that actually took me in. His name is Elvis Bomasa.
Wow.
We still keep in touch to date. But there was this encounter I had with a friend of mine. It's not bad to like or fall in love with someone, but then I was in between maintaining a friendship and still having a roof over my head, But then if it says, I've fallen in love with you, what's up? How we go run out?
Yeah.
Honestly, I was like, I'll be lying to myself if I tell you I love you back just to stay under your roof. So how we could do them? And with the kind of person, the kind of friendship we had, it was like, tell me the truth, I'll tell you the truth. Like we can play and just laugh over it. But then staying at his place was very challenging because every single day we revisit the fact that, so you don't want to have anything to do with me. Every single time I'm struggling to be like, no, it's better this way. I'm trying to avoid us having that relationship because I'll be lying to myself. I don't love you that well, but I was trying to support and say thank you the best way that I can. So I started working at his store, fetching water. I'll cook. I had to learn how to cook because I knew that at least that's one of the ways to appreciate someone that is like keeping you in the house. At night is like, sometimes body no be firewood kind of thing. So it's like, he's a man, I like you, but we still have to do something. Even if it's like a drop, can't you just give me something? So that was a really challenging time for me, trying to discover myself and look for, stand on my feet. But apart from that, he was a really nice person. So that was like one of the challenges that I got trying to squat and live with people, getting to say no when you didn't have a choice. You didn't have anywhere else to stay, but you still had to stand your ground and say no, at least it's going to help. I didn't want to regret anything because this was my life and this is his life. So what if at some point I ghost you? Then it's like, I don't appreciate you because of all the things I've done for you. This is how you pay me back. So that was like a motivation for me to like step up and work hard, you know, just to live by myself and on my own. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not excited you had to go through that, but of course, it just tells you how cruel life can be sometimes when, you know, you have goals you want to pursue, but you may sometimes have to bend to fit in. And a modern day era of that storyline is a girl who is perhaps working in a corporate office or is doing their national service and wants to be retained. You know how it's a big deal, Charlie, to be retained in a place. And a boss or a senior colleague starts making some very funny advance towards you. It starts off with, "Can you hug me?" And I've worked in places.
Can you hug me? It's crazy.
So, and you know, when they are hugging you, in fact, one time I witnessed a senior colleague, a boss hugging a national service person. I was like, bruh, not doing. Like, at the OJDA, you know, and they squeeze you. And in fact, I witnessed one example where almost every time the man was walking, the girl would have to, like, you can see that she's feeling very uncomfortable. How do ladies who are in a similar position, who want to, Charlie, they want to make it in life. They are coming from a very humble background.
Exactly.
They still want to keep their virginity and still be successful. But the world is not looking like that. You'd have to be okay. You have to, you know, how do they navigate that?
It's draining because I've been through that. I've seen it. I've experienced it. But what it boils down to, personally, what I feel about it is willpower. Is it willpower? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's based on the mind and how strong your mind is to like have, like, say no. Some of us are not strong enough to like chest some challenge like that. And some of us are like, you know what other options are there to make myself seen or relevant? And at the end of the day, it's just like some of us have this very soft spot that people can just bounce on. And it's not our fault, actually. Some of it is just based on past experience, us not wanting to go back to what we used to be or the things we used to see as human beings. Being a woman is a struggle. That's all I can say. It's a struggle. And some of the things that we do, it's not because we want to do them, it's because our hearts no strong like that. You know, strong like that. But I just hope that we overcome that. Because to be a woman is really a struggle. Every aspect of life is a struggle to be a woman.
Yeah. But Andy, I also feel that, I mean, it's not everybody that is going to, it's not every storyline that is the predator and the prey. Some of the ladies too, they want it.
That one.
Yeah.
That one, you like it.
Yeah.
That's different. If you like it and you know how to balance it so that at the end of the day, you don't feel like you are being used, that's you. But some are just weak and I'm going to, like, I've met certain people, like women, they don't want to do it, but because they have this fear. They have a fear of being irrelevant. They have a fear of being rejected and being neglected. So they have to just succumb to like certain advances from people. You know, the people that like it, they like it, and at the same time they are still benefiting in every part. That's different. That's actually their choice. But it's sad for some of us that we don't have anybody to rely on or to confide in. So the next person is the wrong person. You know, it's sad. I don't know how to elaborate more on this, but
so how do you navigate such a season? Or if you are in a place where that is happening, what do you do? Do you reach a point where it's like, Charlie, business entrepreneurs will tell you, take risk. Do you take the risk of being bold and saying, I don't want this, or I will leave this house? Because I say I don't like that every day. In the evening,
time. I told him, I will leave this house. I will leave. And because of the friendship we've built, he was very considerate to be like, okay, if I cannot get it from you, I will look for someone else who I can pour my love into. And she would give, I was like, I will look for that person for you. Who do you want? And then he actually found someone and I was happy. That way, you are having your peace of mind. I'm having my peace of mind. I'm making sure that I'm even making you happier because what do you need? What do you want me to do something for you? Do you understand? Hello. You make my mind.
Charlie.
Ask that question again.
How I feel that there's a point where you should be able to speak up.
Yes.
Or your actions should prove that you really don't want this.
Yes. So,
let's say you're in the office space and one particular man keeps moving at you, and you keep saying, I don't like. But the next morning, you go and text him, hi, what's up? Because Mr. Quick, who was good. Like, for men, it's like you are saying one thing, but your actions are proving otherwise, you know?
So there was a time where I was hungry. My hands were shaking. I was shaking so hard. I was even inspired to write music. Yeah. At that point, I didn't even have a goal to I had to write music because of hunger and anger.
Charlie.
But then I have to really give a shout out to my parents. My dad, my mom. My dad is someone that he brought us up in a way where if you know it's not good, if you know that at the end of the day I get to find out, you speak up for yourself. My dad was more of someone that he loved his children to speak up for themselves. And if you don't, yawa for you. If you come back house, yawa for you. My father was the type of person that if you use capital letter to start your name, you will come back home and you will hear from him. So I feel like the kind of things I project right now in my life is based on my childhood and the kind of parents
you had.
I have, you know.
Wow.
So I don't find it hard to say no. But there are some things that I can't say no to. Yeah. It's not the bad things, but I feel like I have to be considerate, you know.
Wow.
So when it comes to saying no to the things that I don't want, I want to make sure that at the end of the day, when I say no, you're going to respect me for the fact that I said no. So in the future, that respect is still there.
Wow.
Not because I'm doing it based on your happiness. Yeah. My happiness is very important to me.
I get that.
So it's really easy for me to say no.
I get it. That's a good point on that. I think whatever we are is based on what we experience when we're children.
Exactly.
And if you're a kid and you lose your dad, I think it changes your upbringing.
It does.
It changes the experience and everything, you know. First of all, I forgive me. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. I mean, some of us, you are blessed. You live with your mom and dad. You think life is your Father's Day. You have somebody to wish. Charlie, it's not easy, but I feel that experience also sort of plays into the role of your hunger. Your hunger to Charlie. Yeah, I don't have anybody who some people are a lot more comfortable because like if I make a
so no need.
Yeah, I get mommy, I get poppy, go please sort me.
Yes.
But when you now reach a point where you don't have a dad, it's like you have to mature in a certain way. How does the person of your dad fit into the story of you becoming the strong and resilient woman you are?
My dad was a very loving person. I learned a lot from him when it comes to patience, when it comes to being kind to people, even when there was no need or point to be kind to people. So when he passed, a lot of things just revealed itself when he came to my mom, my siblings. We just started seeing life different because this was our protector. Whenever like things is going like left or right, he tries to keep things intact. So when he passed, that was when I realized you can expect anything from human beings. Don't try and expect, this person, it go there for me. This person, it no go there for me. I learned that regardless of anything can happen with your friend, with someone you've always trusted for like years. So if you put your trust and your happiness on someone to make it happen for you, you'll be up for disappointment.
Wow.
So his passing made me realize things like that. So I had to sit up. My sister had to sit up. My mom had to sit up, you know.
Wow.
Friends were no longer a thing for me because his passing made me learn. You can have friends when all things are going smooth, happy. But at the end of the day, when they don't have something, when you don't have something to give to them in return, everybody go left you. Just like this. So it played a very huge role in me having trust issues in people. So I'm the kind of person where if my friend come tell me that, oh, you know, say this thing happened plus this person, I'm like, really? Oh, that be how them days. So just leave them. Sometimes they tend to get angry with me when I say that, but it's because if you expect a lot from someone, you end up being disappointed.
Wow.
So it made me stronger just because if you do it, I'm like, it's one of those things. I don't get to beat myself about it. I don't get to go to my room and cry over it, because the more I do that to myself, I'm giving you power over me. And that is one thing I will never do again, because I've seen my dad go through it. So I don't want to go through that, because seeing him go through that was like one of the toughest moments in my life and for my family as well. So it shaped me learning to stand on my own, sometimes not accepting help. Even I have good people in my life that whenever they want to like help, I don't even know how to receive it, because I've gotten so used to the fact that don't expect things from people because you end up being disappointed. So sometimes I tend to shut out good people that don't even deserve that in the first place, you know? So yeah, which brings us to the point where, based on past experience, so I've learned to actually stand up for myself and just be independent.
Wow.
Yeah.
My name is Derek Elom Ashilevi, and I just started this podcast journey about 6 months ago. By God's grace, we launched it, and from the first episode to now, we seem to be doing well. We are doing well. I mean, I just want to be humble, you see. It's the conversation where I sit down and talk to young people who are doing impressive, especially in a place like Ghana. And we've been cooking some rice for some time now, but we need help. It takes a lot to get you an episode. I'm sure a lot of you believe that our platform is doing some good to you. And so we're calling sponsors. If you want to sponsor Talk No the Cook Rice podcast, we are very open to it. Any form of sponsorship at all. You can give us sneakers. We give you a shout out. Of course, I wear your sneaker. I can't do on TV top video, but free adverts. If you want squeeze back is the L thing where this video will squeeze and you see your adverts playing as it's doing now. Even if it's phone case you think you can use to support the show in any way you can, let's cook this rice together. There are some brands I personally want to be on the show. A brand like MTN. MTN, you are asking, what are people doing today? Hey, my show really aligns with what you're doing, because I'm asking people to stop talking and to cook. Hence the name, Talk No the Cook Rice. MTN, you can hop on. We're going to be very grateful. If you're a brand that you are into food, we're open to it. Drinks, children, whatever. Charlie, we need help. And we want you to come on this show so we both shoot up and fly together. And so if you'd love to sponsor or be a part of the Talk No the Cook Rice journey for what we're doing, the numbers are on the screen. You see for yourself. You can email the account you see, or just DM. Charlie, no sweat. Just DM. Text me. That's my number. We'll have a conversation about what we can do to make the show better, the experience, a more exciting one for our viewers. I'm so excited that you want to go on this journey with me. This is Talk No the Cook Rice podcast. As you know it, we cook rice. Don't talk about plans. Charlie, cook. I get that, and I don't wish that for anybody.
I don't. Yeah.
And so what do you tell people who have parents and are not talking to their parents?
Hey, talk to your parents. Speak. Elon, thank you so much for that question. Now that you have the time, speak to them. Now that you have the time, check up on them. Because you never want to find yourself in a position where you say, had I known, I would have done it this way. Because up till today, there are a lot of things I feel like I should have made up for when it comes to the relationship with my dad. So I'm living my life just to repair that lost relationship I never had with my dad.
Oh.
I'm trying to repair that relationship with the people that I come across in life. It's not easy. I've broken a lot of hearts before, good people that didn't deserve it. But I'm at a point where I am learning to repair that, just to say sorry to my dad, because the only sorry I can say to him is just be verbal about it and my actions as well. So I am trying. I am not perfect. I am still breaking hearts. But I am trying to be good and to make him proud and just to say sorry, but I wish I would have done it this way when you were alive.
Oh.
You know?
Thank you, Endurance. I'm really learning a lot from you.
Yeah.
I'm super grateful.
Thank you.
Of course, then, so it sort of now gets you to mature. And then it sort of now gets you to also rely on God. Because, I've never, I've heard a lot of people tell me that when you lose your dad, you grow, like you get to, you mature just as well.
Automatically.
You feel that there's no high, initially you have that cover. It's like a certain cover is broken over you. And so now you sort of get to really rely on God. How big has, we all say, Charlie, if somebody comes to take an award on stage, I just want to thank God, my family for what they do. But how big has God been a part of your journey? I mean, sincerely, how has it been? Especially because of the industry you're in.
Yes.
For people, if you come and dance to a secular music or you come and dance to a wiggle song or bottle shaking, whatever, people, it's a certain counterintuitive thing for a lot of people that you say you love God, but your actions doesn't prove like you love God, especially when for entertainment people, it comes off that, hey, do you speak Twi a bit?
A bit.
We are singing. You can't be worldly.
Okay.
Like you are very worldly. How big is God a part of your journey? And how do you navigate doing? Lisa was here. She mentioned that, the job we do, Charlie,
yes,
showbiz, it's an entertainment industry,
Yes.
So how do you manage both? Yeah.
I try to keep my connection with God based on actions, what I do, how I speak to people, how I respond to actions from people. And once in a while, I try and pay my tithes once in a while.
I get it.
I don't pay it like when it comes to me, but I just send it to my mom. Do this, just pay tithes for me and just tell God thank you. I try to make sure I still have that connection. I believe you can talk to him at any time. You don't have to actually kneel down to talk to him. Sometimes when I'm in the car, when I'm just doing something, I speak. We just an interaction, And I have come to believe that regardless of whatever you're doing, it boils down to the actions you take as a human being. That's what defines you when it comes to keeping your relationship with God. So being in this industry and knowing that we get to dance to worldly music is actually what's in your heart and what you can project to people that will impact them positively. I think is even in the Bible, It's not about the things you have done. It's about how you are able to make up for the things you have done that weren't like good or right in the eyes of God. It's about the actions you're willing to take to make things better. So that is what keeps me grounded when it comes to my relationship with God. I try to make things right because I have messed up a lot of times. So acknowledging them and building on them is my way of connecting with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who hasn't messed up? Do you know I used to be a very bad boy?
You don't look like one.
Yeah, I don't know. Even Kitty was saying it the other day. He says I look like a protocol prophet.
Yes. Your watch, your haircut,
really
all black.
That's the irony of life. We think that people who are wearing dress or shoes,
no, your look. Your look, for real.
I'm also not proud of it. I've messed up with before I became a correct guy. I messed up with a lot of girls.
Correct guy is crazy.
I was a Legon, bad boy and all of that. So I can understand that, Charlie. It's not easy. We all glitch.
How did you get over it?
I think that I joined a certain group. It's called Teens Allowed. It's a Christian NGO. They go to senior high schools. And when I joined Teens Allowed, for the first time, I was hearing the pastor preach. And when the pastor came to preach, he didn't come to receive it, those things. But the pastor took the microphone. The first thing he said was, I know some of you watch porn and masturbated even before coming for this program, but don't worry. I myself used to struggle with masturbation and porn. And I'd never heard a pastor. No. So crazy. It was a big deal. So he kept preaching and he was telling how he used to be bad. And he still mentions about how sometimes he would still see girls and still have to decide that, no, I won't watch the bottles. That is passive, And so for the first time, I felt that, I really can connect with this guy. And so I joined Teens Allowed. They started shaping me, working on me. Charlie, they wash me small down. So,
but still,
I glitched plenty times. In fact, recently, I can tell you, I'm already trusting you.
Tell me.
There's there's a lady who, when the podcast started doing what we were on TV, I got a call last month, and the lady said, "Oh, I've seen your TV. You're really doing well." And guess who it was?
Let me take my glasses off.
A girl from my past.
From the wrong past.
From the wrong past, Charlie. Wrong past that we've done, a lot of crazy stuff. And so I understand a bit about Charlie. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But I also want to explore the bit that, sometimes we pray and ask God to help us on our journey.
Yes.
And it's like how you live in Nigeria, coming to Ghana for the football thing. You're like, Charlie, if for work, oh God, you every day, Charlie Baba. You're really trusting God that it works out. Then the blessing comes. Then the blessing becomes so big that now the blessing takes you away from the source. And I was speaking, Lisa was here and I asked her, and she mentioned about how oftentimes, Charlie, you guys go and dance, you are tired, but there's church. Charlie, sometimes it's not easy, Charlie, you cancel.
Yeah.
There's another guy called Evans Mensah, top journalist in Ghana, very rich guy, powerful guy. And Evans, Charlie, he's great, like he's rich. And I asked him about church. And I said, Charlie, it's not easy. Like, he tries from time to time. So it gets me to explore the fact that oftentimes we pray for the blessings, and the blessing comes, and it sort of feels that, hey, am I forgetting the giver of the blessing, So I just like to keep that reminder that, hey, we got here because of somebody, like the big guy.
Exactly.
And so we should also try and, yeah.
So I have a question.
Yeah. In fact, feel free. Feel free, flow. I'll deal with you. Yeah.
So do you think going to church is a compulsory way to show that you have not forgotten the person that made you who you are right now?
Great. So that's a very good. Oh, you're smart too.
Oh, hello.
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
So I like to answer questions with scenarios. Okay. So there are a number of things to do when you go to a school. Okay. You're signing up for the university. There are online classes.
Yeah.
There are in-person classes. There are homeworks and all of that. The same with church. Okay. In our Christian walk.
Yeah.
Church, being in church alone, I sorry them, yeah, be you the nobody say I dey crazy, now God I dey praise. All of it is beautiful.
Yeah.
That's one side of it. Then there's also quiet time, your personal time with God. Okay. So I want us to just play on this too, which is the gathering together.
Okay.
It's a big deal. And I'm not telling you because of what I've heard.
Yeah.
Also because, I told you I used to be messy, dirty boy.
Yeah.
And just by hanging around and being around, I've gotten to be washed over and over again and over and over again. As opposed to imagine me saying that I go today, Charlie, the rest I'll do it online. And let's be honest, some of us, we just say we'll do church online. Oftentimes, Charlie, you watch small, share service, your attention is not even there and all of that. So I don't think that being in church, the auditorium, the Sunday thing alone is like the peak of Christianity or is what gets you closer to God.
Okay.
There's your personal time with God too.
Yes.
In as much as it's a collective setting, just like how it's in a collective classroom, you go for the lectures is given and everything. There's also that you going and sit down with the book alone to grab for yourself because we finished collective part.
Yes.
Now is the personal bit, So both are still very crucial. You do the collective, which is trying for church on Sunday. Then you do the personal, which is you and God, spending time with Him, making sure He's just the top of your list. He's the priority of your day. So have I answered your question?
I when you were just talking, it just came to my mind, where 2 or 3 are gathered.
Yeah,
in the name of
God is in their
Lord.
midst. Yeah.
Okay. Hello. We are smart.
Great. I love this conversation already. I just feel, we've gone a little detour, but it's still good. Andy, there are 2 things in this life. Successful people always talk about this. They talk about rock bottom. Rock bottom is how they talk about how they didn't have anything. Something happens, the life hits at them.
Yeah.
And that gets to remind them that, Charlie, I must sit up and own my life. And often that's what a lot of people are now taking it out of context. And they say, you interview a rich person, he says that I started with 1 beans. Now, I started 1 kitchen, one egg. Now I have a poultry farm. That's on that's on the extreme side of it. But in as much as there's rock bottom where life hits you, beats you and all of that, losing your dad at a younger age, your passions are not falling in the right way, having to work in a filling station. I have not done that before. I've not even been a church mate before. I cannot imagine what those guys go through, There's also what I've heard Will Smith say it, which is cliff top. Cliff top is when A lot of people think that when you hit rock bottom and you make it, everything is perfect. But you reach cliff top and it's like, oof. It is also not easy being at the top.
There.
Andy, you are at the top. You stay at the top. You live at the top.
I try.
How do you manage? The climate is different. I mean, if you've bought a plane before, you can tell that the clouds that we see, there are levels. There's a first layer. You go and you reach a point, cloud way up. You reach a point, you see the sun rays piercing through the clouds. It's beautiful. I have not had my life. I've not lived my life in front of the eyeballs. You have now had to work so hard, blossom so hard, and now your everything is in the eyeballs of people. A lot of people are following you, not just Ghanaians, Nigerians. All of your interviews I've watched, when you go into the comments and people go like, my daughter really likes you and you've changed our lives. We are in Canada, but we believe in what you're doing.
Why is the voice changing?
Sorry. You know, how is it at Cliff Top?
It's not easy. Like you said, it is not easy. Just as how it's not easy coming up, it's not easy to stay there and maintain growth. But one thing I've come to understand about growth is keep moving. Don't be at one point. Kwabus will say, don't be too comfortable being in your comfort zone. You know, I've learned to learn not just from people that are there. Let me use an example. My age mates. Someone is smarter than me. I want to know how you've navigated from one point to one point, because I feel like growth is constant. It will keep happening. So what I've used to help myself, I think I'm trying to do that, is keep learning from the right source, from the right people, and surrounding myself with great minds, because it has helped me a lot. Starting from the rock bottom, I used to be with companies that didn't add anything to my life, you know. So getting to a point where I've been surrounded with people with the same interest as me, joining the WP Academy, getting to meet people through dance, that they can sit down with me and have a conversation about life, and I have to listen, motivates me to keep going, because the more I keep going, the more lives that I keep impacting, because that is one of the things that is important to me. The people that watch me, has it impacted you positively? Just like you said, the mother would say, my child loves you so much. And I think that is one thing that motivates me to make sure that the older generation and the younger generation, they are watching me and they're like inspired to know that a woman is doing this, a human being is doing this. So I try to learn from the right people. And I'm trying to I'm still filtering the bogus right now. I'm not saying I don't have bogus, but I'm still trying to filter the bogus and learn from the right source. So for me, in as much as I still want to, being at the top is good, because being at the top, you have a greater advantage to more reach. And the more you are still there, the more reach you are going to get to people and lives, you know? So for me, it's learning, taking corrections, knowing that I'm not there yet. I know myself. If I say I'm there, that. So I'm not there yet. I'm still learning.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's a very solid mindset.
Thank you.
To have the mindset that we still cook, we still stay in the kitchen.
Still they cook rice.
Yes. Wow. That's a beautiful one.
Thank you.
I think I want to know about how, a lot of people, and funny enough, because of the surge in social media, everybody's a content creator. Now the podcast, Ebusu, everybody they get couch. Mike. Everybody wants to start something great. With the expectancy of blowing.
Expectancy. That's good.
Glowing.
I just learned it.
Yeah. Or going viral. Also, you praise me now. I'm coming to that. Of going viral. Yeah. Everybody who just wants to wake up and Charlie, my video get 10 million views. So I want you to tell me the chronological.
Hey, hello.
Charlie, I should be humble.
Charlie.
Sorry.
Crow what?
I can't say it again.
Say try.
Chronological.
What you said. That's fine. Yeah.
Story of how you eventually got to 11 million followers. There's a guy called Michael Todd. I don't know if you know him. He's an American pastor.
Heard, yeah.
And I was telling the story of how he had posted a sermon on, somebody posted a sermon on Twitter. He wasn't even on Twitter, but funny enough, he was eating in a restaurant with his wife, and he's eating, then he just sees his phone, the notification just going up. He picks it up. Instagram tells him, you just added 10,000 followers. Then he looks at his, he thought, in fact, he says he thought they were mistaking him for Michael B. Jordan. At that time, he had released Creed. And so, long story short, he takes up, after 15 minutes, he picks up, you just added 10,000 followers. You just added 50,000 followers. In 3 days, he had reached 1 million followers.
Just like that.
I want to know the story of how I have 2,000 followers. Nobody knows me, you know. How did your followers compound? The days you started noticing that, hey, Charlie, the content is going far. The numbers are coming. You know, the notification keep on coming. They keep on coming.
Coming. First of all, that's crow thing you just said.
Yeah.
Does it mean breakdown?
So it means that step by step.
Step by step. Okay.
Yeah, step by
thank
step.
you. So that's what I started doing, is to fall in love with my content.
Okay.
So I don't have to do the things that people are doing just because it's going to get you numbers. But I have to start doing the things that I love, because then when you do the things that you love, someone else watching you will love it as well.
Yeah.
So I had to make sure that no matter how much engagement a trend is having or getting for social media, if it doesn't resonate with me and my feeling and my vibe or how to communicate with the audience, I no go do them.
Wow.
I will not do it, because it's just like dance. You have to fall in love with the dance for someone watching you to fall in love with it, you know? For someone to see that, hey, this dance you are doing, the dance I do on my platform is because I love it too. Even if a client comes and they're like, I want to pay you for you to do this and post this on your social media, I try, sit down, I soak your lyrics.
Wow.
Because I want the audience to know where I'm coming from. I have to fall in love with it. So if I don't fall in love with it and I'm trying to fall in love with it, then that is not the content.
There's a shocking statistic I want to draw your attention to. The data shows us that about 80% of those of you here who come to consume the rice we cook here have not subscribed to the channel. I promise you, the team and I are going to work hard to bring you conversations that change the narrative. And that's why we're bringing you diverse conversations from entrepreneurs to footballers to journalists to creatives. We're going to bring you a lot more. But the caveat is that the bigger the subscription, the bigger the guests. There are some guests that we are trying to reach out. The only reason they are not minding us is because we don't have the numbers. And to help us do more, by subscribing to this wherever you consume it, especially on YouTube. This is Talk, not the Cook Rice podcast. As you know, yeah, we cook rice. Don't talk about plans. Charlie, cook.
So I learned to fall in love with any content I put out there, because that is a start to grow and to get people to be interested in what you do. Not to fake it.
You do a dance video that you love.
I love it.
You love the move. You love everything.
I love the song. I love how I've created it. I love what has inspired me to create it. I love the fact that I watched it on someone's page, and I love how you made your face. I try to look for something to keep my attention on that, to do it. So it's all about the love for the content. Like, I want to fall in love with it.
Yeah, but there are people also doing things they love, but they're not getting the views and the eyeballs. So how is that?
That one, you go talk, say the algorithm.
Okay.
Yeah. The algorithm can be messy sometimes. But it doesn't mean that it should stop. I feel like as long as you love it, that's enough reason, and that's enough motivation you need. Because at the end of the day, it will start with you and end with you. So fall in love with your content. That is what has gotten me to where I've gotten to. Imagine me creating Overdose with Real Cash. And it was because he was just standing. And I walked into the studio premises. I was like, this song, I'm really in love with it. And I feel like we should create something on it. And then he agreed. He heard it. He loved it as well. And then we created Overdose.
Wow.
So Overdose going viral was because we love the music. Now we've fallen in love with the music. Now the dance, the moves is just coming naturally. It's not forced. So that is like actually a key to like staying true to being a content creator. Fall in love with what you do, and the rest to follow.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like saying, see God first and every other thing.
Yeah. Fall in love with it. Just try.
But will everybody go viral?
No.
But what if I also want people, I mean, the person is creating with the, especially with now YouTube monetization, people, everybody wants to go viral and cash out. Or,
but the thing is, if you force it, it will not come. If you force it, and surprisingly, the content that tends to go viral is the one you pay less attention to.
Yeah.
If you really study.
I can be honest with you. Last 2 days, I posted, Diana Hamilton was here.
Yeah.
I posted a this or that. I did a this or that with her.
Yeah.
And I had it a long time ago. She had been on the podcast. We posted it like when she was doing her week experience some time ago. I just posted it yesterday. Last 2 days. I woke up, I'm like, why is that? I mean, because we just have 2,000 followers on TikTok.
Hello.
I think today, 117,000. I'm like, what is about this that I didn't even expect it to go?
You close your mind.
You know? Wow.
What you didn't plan for, that's what we hate. How I didn't plan for all of this to happen. It's just like life. I never planned that I would be like a dance artist or choreographer or content creator. But here we are, because it's not something I was forced. I didn't force it. It just happened naturally. So fall in love with your content and don't expect to go viral each and every time you post the content. Yes. Don't expect it to go viral. There's some content you put out there, you know that, hey, this thing is viral. It's like me right now, I'll go and do a video with Kevin Hart. I love Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
I know that if I do a video with Kevin Hart, my audience know how much I love him. So that's like viral because she has always wanted this for herself and now it has happened. It's viral. It's going to carry like news and weight. But then don't expect every content you put out there as a content creator to go viral. Be more focused on the reach. Not the numbers, but the reach. The reach is the audience. Like, who is watching it at that point? Is the person about to jump off like a cliff to commit suicide and the person gets to your content and then the person is like, no, I have a reason to leave. That's the kind of reach I'm talking about.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that makes so much sense. I don't have the expectancy of it going.
It takes us back. Don't expect things there. Don't expect. Just do it.
So then now it reaches a point where you guys have transformed music in Ghana. I mean, I was telling Big Q last year that, I mean, you guys have, growing up, nobody wanted to be a dancer. You can't go and stand in front of your mother when I grow up to be a dancer. Sure, Charlie, I go give you back up for it, you know. But you guys have changed dance. And most importantly, you're changing the music industry. Where now people make songs and bring it to you that give us a routine. And shockingly, you cook something and it flies. And now it's so nice. It's almost as if when somebody wants their song to really do well, you must get a dance routine for that song. Yeah. For that, because there's dance routine that will fly it and keep, getting the thing to really soar up. But unfortunately, and I know it's something that BWP is always fighting about and Big Q is talking about, is how dancers are not respected enough. Dancers are not pushing, even for the TGMs, when you guys went for the launch, thinking that this year there should be a category. Because if all the industry players for dance, we're talking about videographers, are being awarded best music video.
So where are we?
How do you feel about that?
I feel like there's hope because I don't want to run mad thinking that something like this is still in the industry. And what I used to console myself about that last TGMA that happened is dancers got to present awards, It's a step. It's a step to something great or greater that's about to happen. But we have gotten to that time where a dancer that has created a routine, a dancer that has created a choreography for a music video, a dancer that has created a performance for a tour for an artist should be acknowledged, not just credit on social media, but they should be acknowledged so that the legacy stays and lives there. Wow. We've gotten to that point. Now, it's not all about social media for dancers right now, most dancers. It's about being acknowledged the right way. Because now, dance is now like a source of income. Yeah. Dance has put food on my table. Dance has put food on my colleague's table. So if we're doing this for the love, at least other people should see it and also want to become it. The point is to build an army, Just like how bankers are there and you want to be a banker, you want to be a medical doctor. we want dance to not just be a temporary thing. We want it to stay. So it's time. It is time. Elon, if you want to sign a petition, let's sign it. It's time.
I think I agree. That's
it's time.
Because you guys are playing a very big role.
Yeah, because imagine we don't have, it's like being a music artist. A dancer does not have a royalty. Like you see when your dance is being done.
Replicated somewhere else.
We don't get profit from it. That's okay. But being acknowledged and being put in categories, we're asking for that now. It's time for us. Wow. So just respect our craft the same way you respect us to want us to work with you. We're asking that you also respect us, to acknowledge us, not just financially, but, you know, when it comes to those stages.
Wow.
It's time.
It makes sense. Yeah. It really makes sense. And I think I buy into the dream of DWP and what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Because now you guys are pace setters. So if you don't fight, the younger ones cannot come and benefit.
They can't. So we have to start the fight right now.
I like that, especially how you started the fight of changing dance in the country.
Changing dance narrative.
Now we changed it. Now the better turn is to. And it's a lot more exciting to see that now you're dancing in front of big people, the president. You're dancing. One of the things I'm praying for is a World Cup final.
Yeah.
A basketball championship.
Yeah.
You know, NFL final. DWP's challenge.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Maybe when we get there, then they'll start putting us on the category.
I can imagine. I think one thing that excites me about your journey is the fact that you are not tired, in the sense that you're doing dance, you're doing well. Everybody knows you're a household name. Your videos are flying. In fact, I noticed something on your you posted something yesterday, and one of the comments said, "Oh, finally she has posted." So it got me to go back to your previous post, which was 14th April. Mm-hmm. Then you had posted 10 days later. I'm like, but what's wrong if she just posts? It's like people expect from you, like you become a big people's calendar. You know, they want to see you, and shockingly, you don't get tired there, and now you are doing music. The first music you wrote was because you were hungry.
On the red book.
Charlie.
Yes.
Now, why are you doing music now, in addition to what you're already doing?
Because I'm multi-talented. Yes, I can do a lot of things. So I've always loved music. I grew up in a house where my dad will use music to wake you up at 4 a.m. when he gets back from work.
Oh.
So listening to Lucky Dube as a kid, even when you don't understand what Lucky Dube is saying.
Yeah.
And now you're growing up gradually, you're understanding life. And I'm just thankful that my mother, my father are music lovers, and then they passed it on to the children. So I've always had like a love for music. My family in general, we've always loved music. We grew up listening to music, even when we don't feel like. On a Saturday, they're trying to wake you up. My mom wakes you up with plates. My dad wakes you up with music. Everybody get up, let's do something. So I love to sing. I appreciate good music. So, yeah. So which brings me to a point where I said the growth is constant. It's time. I found my niche. Now people follow me. Not everybody that is following me for dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've learned that about myself. So it's time to expand.
Wow.
And just give the different individuals what they want and what I would want to bring to the table.
Yeah.
Just to expand.
That's beautiful. I think some people also follow because of your fashion sense.
Hey, this fashion sense.
No, it's true. I promise. In as much as some people make the point that you may dress like a boy, it's okay. Look, it's okay. And Lisa was making the point when she was on the podcast is the fact that when she started dressing feminine, you get men make very funny comments.
Very funny.
Concerning, some of them I'm not worthy enough to even repeat here, you know. Yeah. So it's good. It's better. I promise you, this is better than see, I promise you, Jigbody, you have my full assurance that we love your style.
Serious.
We love it. It's beautiful and all of that. I think some people genuinely follow. How do you guys get the outfits? Is it
Pinterest? Some is Pinterest.
Pinterest. Okay.
Some of them is Pinterest. Some of them is actually seeing a style randomly. Some of them is getting someone to share ideas with, you know. Some of them is actually being open to like keep watching the people that you look up to when it comes to like fashion sense.
Wow.
How do they do this? How do they do this? And then you just put one or two together. Or sometimes you see some fashion sense, be like, okay, let me put it in my nose because I don't have the outfit yet. Then you work on it.
Then I'm sure it makes you more excited to know, what you guys did last year, the runway. I was so proud of Big Q and DWP.
Man.
Seeing you guys styled up in different ways.
That was amazing. That was an amazing experience.
Yeah.
It's coming back, actually.
Wow.
Bigger.
I look forward to seeing my girl walking the runway.
Some ballerina gown and things.
Great. I love that. I also want us to talk about the fact that, well, there's healthy competition, which everybody needs. I mean, part of the reason why Joy News is because, Charlie, we have competitors. Sometimes there's a breaking news. And in the news environment, the first to break it gets the more eyeballs. So maybe something has happened. So everybody's pushing to break it first.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes, if we turn on the TV and our competitor, TV3 or GH or any of them is doing it and we are not doing it, you can imagine that somebody shouts, hey, competition, they beat us, and things, Yeah. Healthy competition is necessary. In the field you work in, there are other wonderful people who do, what you do.
Yeah.
How do you maintain healthy competition without having to look down on yourself or devalue the work you're doing? And for this one, it's a personal question for me because in as much as I'm creating, I know a few good friends of mine who are doing well. I love them. Adam Evangelist, Reagan Design. These guys are doing so well. Yeah. And sometimes they are cooking. I say, hey, Charlie, the boys are cook. And they joke.
You question yourself.
You really question is that, are you the joke? See the boys, and I don't get, I don't get jealous of them. I know they're all doing what they deserve. In fact, all of them have been on this podcast. I really love them and respect them. But it sort of gets me to set up, Yes. But when you don't draw the line, sometimes it can get you to also look down on what you're doing.
Yes.
How do you manage healthy competition,
Sometimes
without having to?
Sometimes it gets unhealthy.
Okay.
Sometimes I tend to be like, hey, then I did slow. Like, what's going on here? But then thankfully, I have people there to remind me that, look, it's okay to have competitions. But then what is not okay is the fact that you are disrespecting someone's progress based on the fact that you want to be where they are. Let me use dance. We are all dancing. We are trying to push one narrative right now in Ghana. And that narrative is, dance is making a name right now. But then we want dance to be appreciated more. One of the things that helped me is the fact that you are a dancer, I'm a dancer. There's one thing we have in common, and that's the love for dance. So how best can we collaborate? But then it's a very big problem when the other party is not resonating with what you're bringing to the table. That one there, then you don't force it. Yeah. Because then it's not about the dance anymore. It's about a personal mindset or perception they have about you. So how I deal with healthy relationships or competitions, I just be chilling. And I go with the flow. But then I don't give, if you give me bad vibes, I did dodge things a lot. I like to stay away from something that's going to make me think a lot, because already there's a lot in my head. Oh. I have to take care of my mom. I have to make sure that she doesn't work right now. She has to relax. So if I'm getting an unhealthy relationship based on dance-wise or content creation or the entertainment, I just hope they get over it, because let's push this together. Let's push it together. That is what DWP has taught me over the years. Oh. How best can we work together to push this? But then you don't force it. If they don't want to do it, don't force it. It will come when it wants to come. If I invite you and say, let's collaborate and make this dance video. Wow. And you are looking at the fact that because they compare the two of us, so being in the same video with me or me being in the same video with you is going to make it look like you're outshining me or I'm outshining you. Oh. Then just let it be.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I like that. I think one of the reasons why I wanted you on the pod is because I've noticed you doing something that I want you to encourage me to start doing.
Hey, what?
Which is working out.
What?
I'm serious.
You acknowledge my workout sessions.
I promise.
My upper body workout sessions.
Yeah. Like when I see it, I'm like, Derek, you are joking. Look at your mates. Look at what your friends are doing. You are here. You are joking. I've really been. So there was in 2020, I started working out a bit. You know, I'm quite skinny. But when I worked out, really?
No, you're not.
Oh, Jigwadi, you're not. You're encouraging me.
I don't know.
Are you gaslighting me? You know, so it was so good to see you work out. And I'm like, oh, maybe she can. So I've written in my to-do list that when I meet you, I'll ask you for why are you working out? And why should I also start working out? Why should I?
Why am I working out?
Yeah.
I'll give you like few reasons. Number one is because I don't want someone to change my diapers when I'm old. You see, they have like old people where they can still be, they are very active, they are moving about. I don't want someone to do that for me.
Wow.
I want to change. I still want to bathe myself, eat and feed myself and everything. But most importantly, with where I'm at right now, good health is like very important. What I eat, what I take in is very important. So the more I start making this a lifestyle, the more it will be very hard for me to detach from it.
Wow.
So working out is now like it's like my good morning right now.
Wow.
I try as much as possible to go to the gym. If I can't, I do push-ups. If I can't do push-ups, I try to eat vegetables. It's hard to eat green things when you are not used to eating green things. It's very hard. So one of the reasons is because a healthy mind brings good results. So I try to make sure I work out if I can't go to the gym. Since I go back, I've not been to the gym. But I try to like involve myself in like activities that will make me sweat and just keep my heart pumping and stuff. So you should go to the gym, Elo, because
in fact,
it will help your mind.
Yeah.
Your mind and your discipline.
I've been reading about it a lot. I know the benefits of workout, but I don't know.
So why are you asking me why you should work out? When you know the reason why you should work out?
I think a lot of people, there's a certain inertia deciding to start. You know, it's the starting bit that is difficult.
Very difficult.
You know?
The body pains.
Yeah. You know, that's what I think about. If I do today, Charlie, I'll wake up tomorrow, my shoulders, you know.
Elom, I could not sit on a WC for 2 days.
Wow.
I was struggling and creating routines just to sit.
Wow.
It was crazy. Leg days are not my favorites.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Hopefully, guys, because Endurance has encouraged me, hopefully.
Have I actually encouraged you?
Charlie, so I think what I want is accountability. So that now that I've told somebody, I sort of feel accountable to. It's not so that anywhere you meet me in life, you go like, oh boy.
How many people have you told that you want to start the gym and you need to be accountable?
Well, so my kid brother works out. He's a professional swimmer.
Oh, okay.
Just that when he moved out, he took everything away. So at least those they were doing it together, then you read that DNA. But when he moved out,
what workout sessions do you enjoy?
So what I think, I want to get a little chest, you know, so that when I wear something, when I show up the girls, so you know. I just want to look cool, especially for the suits. I'm planning some suits, so I just want to get with that, you know.
And it helped me build my confidence. I used to have like very low, like self-esteem. Yeah, growing up. So it has helped me. My shoulders. When I look at myself in the mirror, I see my shoulders. I feel like I can take over the.
Yeah. There's such a sweet feeling. Those even when I work out, man, come on, bring it on.
Today I created the content with my shoulders up because. No, working out and keeping fit is good. Nobody should take that for granted.
Great. Yeah. We're going to be wrapping up pretty shortly. Yeah. But one thing I want to pick your mind on is how do you keep your relationship friends from high school?
Alone.
You know, because now I'm not a celebrity. I'm not popular. But my JHS mates sometimes get angry that so we are talking in the page, won't you reply some? You thought
that's one.
Yeah.
I've left it to God.
Yeah, Charlie. So how do you manage all your relationship, your friends, and especially for you that you're always meeting new people in other countries? Somebody meets you, oh, you don't remember me? Oh, it was me.
And it pains me when I say, oh no.
Yeah.
It pains me a lot.
How do you manage all your relationship that you've built over the years?
Sometimes the people you've gotten to know over the years, some friends you've gotten to know can't deal with change.
Wow.
They can't embrace change because their mind is not built like yours. So it's not their fault. They can't just deal with the change that is going on around you and everything. As for that one, it can tend to be unhealthy sometimes because they don't understand that you sleep late. You tend to sleep late to wake up early to go and do something. So they feel like you intentionally don't want to respond to them. But then I had my family and we had my dad's remembrance not long ago. Yeah. And I used that platform to make sure that I reconnect with my close circle, just to let them know that how can I make it better? How can I show up for you? Because I know that you are showing up for me, but I want to show up better for you. So how can we do that? So I did something recently with my family, my mom and my siblings. We created a group. This group, I'm going to be sending stuff into the group. I'll send voice notes once in a while. So I'm trying to learn to build and keep that circle because I don't have a big circle of friends. Yeah. So I'm trying to, when I see a message, I force myself to reply to the people that actually understand growth and they are willing to grow with you. So I'm trying to keep the people that are willing to grow with me and not be like, there's this word, but I've forgotten. But don't be stuck on the fact that I can't reply your message right now. I will try and reply, but then it comes with being intentional. Yeah. Yeah. Well, my communication can be very shaky sometimes.
I get it.
So yeah, I try to keep the people that are ready and willing to grow with me as a friend. Wow. Because then those are the people that I don't want to joke with. I'm trying.
But you're a very wise lady.
Hello. Okay. Can we just,
Okay. Yeah. I think you're you know your stuff. And I'm excited. And I'm excited we get to do it. Now we're going to wrap up. Yeah. We're going to do light note questions. And these are very smart. So we're going to do 2 bits of this as we're wrapping up. The first bit, I'm going to ask you questions. Mm-hmm. You answer them, this or that. You choose what you want or quick answers. And I'm going to give you the opportunity to also ask me questions so that we flow. Because I feel that you also make a very good interviewer.
Okay.
The first one, even before that one, Kidi left a question for you that he says I should give to the next guest. And you are the next guest that counts. So we'll give you that question. But I am going to, there's a game we're going to play. Okay. Make sure you don't say the number 5.
I should make sure.
You don't say when you say the number 5, you've lost.
Okay.
Okay. 1 + 1. Oh no, 2. You have to answer. Yeah.
2.
2 + 2.
4.
4 + 4.
8.
8 + 1.
7. 9.
9. Yeah, you just said the number.
What number did I say?
You said the number that I said you shouldn't say. 9.
It's 9.
I said, you said 9.
8 + 1 is 9.
Yeah, so I said you shouldn't say 9. You said 9.
Nah. You said I should not say a number.
I said don't say the number 9.
8 + 1. Nah, 9. Hello, I know what you're doing there.
9 + 1.
10.
10 divided by 1.
If you take 10.
Yeah.
You divide them by 1.
Yeah. It's still 10. Okay, 10 divided by 2. You are scared to say 5. You didn't give me this. What are you doing?
What do they do? Hello.
So you can't say the number. Okay, no. You're smart. You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you didn't say the number 5. Mm. All right. Quick, this one. Burger or pizza?
Pizza. No. Burger.
Banku fufu.
Banku.
Wow. Chocolate or vanilla?
Vanilla.
Tea or wachi?
Oh, tea.
Umpe wachi?
No.
Amba?
I love tea a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Lai Wasabi or Disney? You know Disney?
Disney?
No, Disney. It's a Nigerian content creator. A very funny guy. Oh, you don't know Disney. But I know Lai.
Lali.
Lai. Yeah,
no.
Tall lawyer guy.
Oh, yeah. I'll go for him.
You go for Lai,
yeah.
Great. Reading books or listening to podcasts?
I'll listen to podcasts.
Okay. Comedy or horror?
Comedy.
Music or silence?
Music.
Wow, you don't like silence?
Silence. Oh, no. Depends.
Great. Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Beach or mountains?
Hey, I don't want to fall down on the beach.
City or countryside?
Countryside.
Do you want to be invincible or you want to be able to read minds of people? Between the two, which would you prefer you have?
I want to be invincible.
Invincible.
Yeah.
You don't want to be seen. You want to go through the crowd. You don't know that.
Because if I'm invincible, you don't know what I want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Solid. Okay.
Invincible or reading minds?
Me?
Yes.
I think I really want to know what people think about.
Really?
Yeah, I just want to get into the minds of people.
You will run mad though.
Yeah, sure. You get to find out this is what people really think of you. You have a point. Text or call?
Oh, text.
Text.
Yes.
Sneakers or sandals? Of course. What else?
Sneakers.
Rain or sunshine?
Rain.
You like rain. When it rains and the weather,
There's this smell.
yeah,
Yes.
comes from the earth.
You look like a sun person.
No. I
Eh.
don't like the sun. In fact, I wear shades all the time.
Oh, okay.
I feel Ghana is too bright.
I feel like see, you're always like ready to go. So yeah.
No, I think I enjoy the rain too sometimes.
Okay.
But when I wash, I want the sun.
I know, right?
You know, great. Ghana, Nigeria.
Hello.
Benny.
Can't I say it depends?
It depends, yeah.
It depends on the vibe.
It depends on the vibe.
It depends on the
Great. I just want you to ask me any question you want to ask, then yeah. And I'll be honest with you.
You be honest with me.
Extremely honest with you.
There's usually like a motivation that makes people do something.
Okay.
What motivated you to start doing this? Asking, getting interested in knowing, getting to know about how people have been, how they've gotten to where they've gotten to. This whole podcast, like,
Yeah, I think
something happened. Like what?
okay. So the first thing is that I talk. I'm a dreamer. I talk a lot. Like in the sense that I believe, Charlie, I always have 10,000 ideas. But I came to notice that I'd become stuck in the idea world. There are things I want to own. I'm a big fan of, Toyota, Tacoma, Tundra, big motors cars, But I noticed that I'd become used to just living in the dream, but I wasn't putting in the work of getting that. And I noticed that apparently I wasn't the only person. A lot of the young people I know, everybody wants to own a certain house, drive a certain car, live a certain life, but they are not cooking. They are all talking.
They are not cooking.
So why don't I hold myself accountable by talking to people who are cooking? So I learn from them. So I promise you, any guest I bring on, I personally want to learn. So every time the team suggests a guest, I'm like, oh, this guest, I want to learn from this guest. I want this guest on the show because I want to really learn from Endurance. Especially for you, like I wanted to know how do you still shine when the world is against you, when your parents don't buy into it and all of that, So basically that got me to start the podcast because I want to learn from people.
You want to learn from people.
Yeah.
Do you break rules?
I think so.
Yeah, everyone.
And if you want to,
Very
because I
good.
like to like girls,
I'm
if you
saying-
don't break,
I think
break
if
rules.
girls,
I-
wow.
So I break rules, reasonable rules. No,
Okay, so now when it comes to this podcast show right now, and do you believe that you just want to go with the flow or you want to do like a structured, you want to have like a structured way of interacting with your guests? Like sometimes if, for example, you get a sponsor, yeah, and then the sponsor wants you to go this certain type of way
yeah.
because that is what they want. They are paying for it. Would you lose, like how would the focus now be like? Because now you want to learn from your guest. But then when someone else comes into the picture where like the person wants to pour there for your podcast right now, how would the vibe be like?
That's a very small question.
Yeah.
So I've done close to 25 pitches to brands. I've done a lot of presentations. And some of the brands, I noticed right from the beginning that they would turn my hands behind me. Like, and so after doing 10 of those brands, I decided that, you know what, I'll just go with brands who already believe in what we're doing on other platforms. So there were certain brands that I can mention them because I want them, which is Cowbell. I like Cowbell. I want them to come on my show. And I noticed that they were supporting Kojo's content. So I got in touch with them, did the pitch to them. And I was so happily, in fact, they knew the podcast. When I mentioned, they said, oh, they know, they've watched 2 episodes already. So I'm now aligning with brands who sort of buy into what we're doing. If a brand does not buy into what we do, I think there's a point where, in as much as I want the money, I'd rather want to stand for something that will keep our goal than having to tweak. There's one partner we almost got. In fact, we almost got. The only challenge was they said this is talk shop. Like we just sit and talk. They want us to go into villages and do project-based stuff. I've not thrown away the idea. I'm like, okay, let's see. Perhaps you can call that a special episode.
Yes.
We can tweak it. But if a third party is coming in and is coming to change totally what we do, will be difficult. Yeah, and thankfully because I have a team, we can, join and see how we go about that.
Why rice?
Why it be rice?
I think the quote itself is nice.
Yeah.
If they talk about the cook banku, nobody knows
beans.
banku.
Like, what?
If you talk about the cook beans, do everybody in the world know beans? Maybe.
Yeah.
But everybody knows rice.
Yeah.
Rice is everywhere,
Rice,
so
okay.
figure it to work out.
Something to relate with a lot of people. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done.
Jigbadi, I just want to say thank you for
Thank
making
you,
the time to be on our pod. I don't take it lightly. I've had a very good conversation.
Me too.
I've learned a lot. And God bless you for coming.
Thank you.
And I've really had a good time. Guys, this conversation is different. And I don't need to beg you to subscribe. If you subscribe, go. I'm tired.
Subscribe.
I mean, this is good. And so support Jigbadi as well. And in every project she's doing, everything she's cooking, support her. She deserves it,
Support Elom as well.
Grateful. Charlie, subscribe. Join these viewers. We're grateful you make the time. We see you. Oh, Kitty's question. Kitty's question was, what would you tell your younger self? 2 things you would tell your younger self if you knew that you were going to be endurance. Kitty says I should ask you.
What would I tell my younger self?
Yeah.
Elom, really?
You're far from the microphone.
I just had a feeling. I had a feeling that this question. What would I tell my younger self?
Don't take moments for granted. Yes. Because if I knew the things I know now, there are certain things I would not be bothered about right now. But now I'm in a space where I am trying to repair and correct it. So, and also surround yourself with good company. Yes.
Oh.
Because it might make or unmake you.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what I would tell myself.
Thank you, Jigbadi.
Thank you, Elom.
That's good advice. So leave a question for the next guest and we're done.
If there's something they would change about themselves currently, what would it be?
Wow, that's a good question.
What would it be?
Thank you guys for watching.
Answer honestly.
You answer. I'll push him to answer. He's a politician, but I'll push him to answer. Great. Thank you for making the time. Talk.
No, they cook rice.
Bless.
Talk, no, they cook rice.